So I'm going to be asking you boys your storylines to watch. I've just listed out a couple there. Jeff, what have you got?
I'm interested to see how Rául Jiménez gets on his return to Wolves. There are question marks about Wolves. I think their fans are fairly underwhelmed by the lack of signings in general. But this is a club he spent 5 years at, initially on loan from Benfica. He went there and he, of course, it was there when he had his horrific head injury against Arsenal. And I think it's a club that he's got a lot of affection for. And I was interested to see when he came on the other day in a friendly, the reception he got from the Wolves fans was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. I also think he brings a bit of experience, a bit of maturity to the side as well. So, yeah, I for one, wish him well there, and I hope it goes well for him.
Yeah, it's a lovely story from Rául Jiménez. Tom, what's your story?
My story is Middlesbrough, USA, with Max Arfsten and Sebastian Berhalter joining Aidan Morris at the club. I think that there are going to be a lot of Americans team to watch alongside Wrexham because of the FX show here in America. But these three players are going to be linchpins for Middlesbrough trying to get to the Premier League. They came desperately close last year. If they don't make the top half of the playoffs this year, it'll be a disappointing season. And they chose to use their funds on a couple of Americans, and two of which were at the World Cup. And Aidan Morris obviously remains in the squad. He's one of the leaders of this team. The three are living together, which is a fun little subplot for the moment. Aidan Morris joked that it was a little bit more quiet and a little bit more lonely when I joined. But Arfsten, Berhalter, and Morris are all living together right now in England.
They are Middlesbroughs, aren't they?
There you go.
Hey, Americans abroad. Love to see it. Aaron, storyline to watch for you.
It is the biggest storyline from last season. Southampton coming into this one, there have been docked 4 points. Tonda Eckert is facing a possible lengthy suspension.
It's a really bad situation for the club.
Yeah. OK, everybody, to talk more about the EFL Championship, we're going to be going to one of our very own, Nigel Rio-Coker. Nigel, nice to see you.
Nice.
Hang on, whoa. He's got an anti-morning footy shirt on. What does that say?
What's the shirt
No, it's
say?
not morning footy. It's morning people.
No, I don't like morning people.
We're morning people, Nige.
Or mornings or people.
Or morning or people, there you go.
Nige, we're morning people. We are morning footy. We're up. We're super excited about the start of the EFL.
As am I, Jeff. Yes, even on my day off, I'm coming to be part of the team.
Well, thank you very much.
If you had Nigel mentioning his day off, the under hit comfortably.
Hold on. Why am I not surprised you, Tom, picked Middlesbrough as your team and story of the year, Mr. USA, Three Boys? Come on.
Are you saying it's some deep revelation?
I'm just saying, Tom, get outside the box. There's a big world out there. Other things that can
Well, Nigel, we appreciate you joining us on your day off. Look, this is a league that you played 5 seasons in your career. For someone who may not have watched the Championship, what can they expect this season?
A roller coaster of emotions. I always describe the Championship as that. It's one of the best leagues in world football. And when you see what can happen, it's the one unique league where a team throughout the season could be maybe 18th, 19th, and then by the end of the season, just make the playoff. That's how unique the league is. It's a fantastic ride of emotions. So many things can happen, and every weekend it's chaotic. Top can beat bottom, bottom can beat top. It is a fantastic emotional journey of football, and there's so much that happens in that league. It's a soap opera of its own.
Nigel, talk about how arduous this EFL season is. It's 46 matches. It's ridiculously drawn out. It's so many games. How does that affect you as a player going through such a long season?
You can't cry over spilt milk, Aaron. That's how it works. If you lose a game, you've got to get to the points quick you need to and move on to the next. There's no time to dwell when you lose on a game. Managers have to think fast. They have to really elevate themselves to a different level, a different speed compared to the Premier League. The different aspect is obviously the quality level of when you get to the Premier League. You probably get a lot more creative, a lot more chances to score goals in the Championship than you do in the Premier League because it's a level up of quality. But it's a fantastic journey. It's fast. It's furious. It really is. And like I said, there's so many storylines in each club, and there's historic clubs in the league. We've seen big clubs even go from the Championship down to League One. And just to use the best example right now, it's probably Sunderland. Sunderland, from what they went through to get back to the Premier League, where they probably weren't favourites to get promoted in the run of form that they had, they get promoted, and now we're talking about Sunderland in Europe. That's all part of the journey of going through the Championship. Really is a fantastic league to be involved in.
Now, as you just said, it's possible for a team that are 18th to scrape into the playoffs. What do you make of the new expanded playoff, down to 8th now?
Well, dare I say it, Jeff, I'll take the expanded playoff compared to water breaks and turn it into 4 quarters. So I'll live with this one for now. It's a one-off knockout game. It's kind of a bit more interesting. It's a more friendlier dynamic to the championship to create that one-off game. But it's not bad. I mean, it's the first year of it happening. It's the first time I'm going to see it fall into place. So I'm excited with that. It gives the team an opportunity, a puncher's chance, as we say, Jeff.
Nigel, you don't think it will lessen the quality of the teams we see in the playoffs potentially making it to the Premier League?
I mean, it gives them an opportunity to make it, but it doesn't guarantee it. We've never seen it happen like this. So we'll see in the teams that finish 7th and 8th if they can win off that one-off playoff game and get in it, because there's still a journey to go. You've still got to get to the final. You've still got to go and play at Wembley and win the most expensive game in world football. So it doesn't guarantee that any of those teams will be able to go all the way. It just gives them an opportunity, as I say, a puncher's chance to be part of it.
Nigel, at the other end of the table, is there any surprise teams you're looking at to be in a relegation battle?
One team I've got my eye on is Blackburn. I'm really worried for Blackburn. Talk about the history of Blackburn Rovers. For those who don't know, they did win the Premier League many moons back, and with the top goal scorer of the Premier League, Alan Shearer, being one of the players there at the time. A historic club in England that Jeff can probably add a lot more to. I'm worried about them. They've been floating above the relegation zone for a few years now. They haven't really recruited. I think the managers also sound the alarm about the lack of players coming in. So there's a real worry for Blackburn that this could be the year that they probably end up not being able to survive in the Championship.
I'm going to push back slightly, Nigel. Tony Mowbray, thankfully, has battled and he's beaten, we hope, cancer. And he had quite a few offers. So for him to decide to go back into football is a big thing. And he chose Blackburn out of all the other clubs. So he gives me a little bit of hope, Nigel.
Yeah, no, Jeff, I agree with you. I'm nothing against Tony. I think Tony's a fantastic manager, but it's the tools he's got to work with. That's the problem, I think, at the moment. And it's a worry about the lack of recruitment. And it's what we've seen consistently for years with Blackburn. Yeah. It's always the top that's going. They produce some great academy players and they don't stay long at the club. So then you can't have a foundation to build off. So I think that's the worry about it for me, Jeff, the lack of quality that he has to work with and players coming into it. But Tony's a top manager. I agree with you on that one.
Nudge, we know about the hype machine, the media machine that Wrexham is, but they just missed out on playoffs last year. How do you see them approaching the championship this year? Do you see them making the playoffs?
I will go and say it. I do see Wrexham making the playoff this year. Last year I said there was no chance of them getting promoted, and I was proved right. So I'm happy with that, with all the Wrexham fans coming at me. But this year I do see them making the playoffs.
Nigel, what do you make of the situation at Southampton? Because we were just talking about the desk here. We don't know if you saw it. But in many, many ways, do you think it's the worst possible scenario for them? So we don't know whether Tonda Eckert will get charged. There's rumours of it. And if he is charged, obviously they've got to make a decision, and whether or not it's a long-term decision as well. But this kind of suspense, is that not the worst possible thing at the start of the season for them?
Hey, Jeff, for the American audience, they don't know, because the American audience had a TV show years ago, way before Hannah and all them that were born anyway, called Dallas, or maybe a bit of Friends. For us, this is like EastEnders. Like, it's just an absolute soap opera, Jeff. And I'm with you. I can't believe that the decision hasn't been made yet. And it's like Shakespeare, to spy or not to spy? That is the question, Tonda? So I think for me, what I would say, Jeff, is it's crazy a decision hasn't been made with the eve of the championship starting. But what I've got to say is, for people us watching, you got to admire how Southampton have handled this, and especially from the players' perspective. Players didn't have the opportunity to play in the championship final. So you've got to understand how they went through and how they felt. So you might have felt that there might be rebellion against the manager because players might not have been knowing and just following the manager's instructions. And whether you were spying or not, they got the results. But when you look at it, Jeff, it's kind of made them a lot more united. And Flynn Downs has come out and said, basically, they're playing now with a chip on their shoulder, even with a points deduction, that they're going to win the league. Not even just make the playoffs. He said the goal is to win the league. So that, for me, the determination it's showing is something that you have to admire, that with all that's gone on, The players have stayed united, and if anything, it's galvanised them. And it seems now that Southampton have this mindset of us against the world. Now, there's a lot of games in the Championship, so there's going to be a lot of booing they're going to face, a lot of, as we would say in England, banter with binoculars and, but the team is united. And that's something that you've got to admire when the dressing room stays that united. What they can achieve, the possibility is endless. But the whole manager situation is still a bit crazy for me that they haven't made a decision.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.